Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Mandy from Hope Designs, and this is going to be a Dutch pour collaboration with Muna from Mona Rosa Art and Angie from Angie's Art and Crafty Creations. And I will list their links below in the description box. I did speed this up a little bit, and I'm going to do a voiceover just because the video went long as I fiddled with the painting. But this is 2 11 by 14 gallery wrapped canvases. We're going to do a split color today. So the white is the Artist Loft Flow White. And the other color is Golden Titan Mars Pale. And they're mixed with Floetrol and water. Tiny bit of Liquitex pouring medium, just because I had it. I always end up using too much paint. So be patient with me as I continue to practice my Dutch pours, because they're a little rusty and they need some work. But you see me torching the bubbles there. I did flood the canvases off camera because it takes a long time. This first color is Deep Violet by Liquitex. Some of these colors had been mixed up in these bottles for a really long time, and some are mixed with Floetrol and water and some just water, and I don't remember which. So I do sort of regret not using all paints I had just mixed up, because I think this Deep Violet might have maybe needed to be shaken up a little bit better. All of the primary elements are only mixed with golden, regular gel gloss, and water. So that color was Cinnamon Brown from Primary Elements. And this color is Australian Red Violet by Matisse. As we know, I love that color. And next up is Indian Spice from Primary Elements. That's a Bling It color, which means you can use it in resin or acrylic. It's a gorgeous gold. I used too many colors as well because I had a hard time deciding. This is my struggle. I do this with blooms too. I just want to put everything in, and sometimes that's not the best thing. And I'm putting a tiny bit of Temptation from Primary Elements, just a tiny bit because I had too much paint. And then Permanent Blue Violet from Amsterdam. So one of the challenges I have is I put too much paint on, and then you can't move all that paint effectively, so it messes with the composition. But I think it's just a matter of getting back in the practice of doing Dutch pours a lot. I do blooms and things with the bloom recipe so often that, you get kind of rusty with regular pours. So I'm trying, and that's one of the reasons why when we decided to do this collaboration, we decided we all want to work on our Dutch pours. So thank you for being patient as I, practice a little bit more. And at this point, I'm kind of nervous because you can't do too much with the composition with these this way. But I hadn't really mapped it out very well. And the reason why Dutch pours on small canvases are kind of difficult is because you don't have a lot of place that you can go. And that's really where some of the beauty of Dutch pours comes from, is from the ability to maneuver your composition a little bit around the canvas. As you might watch, I completely overworked this painting. There's too much paint in the middle in some places. So some places did need to be tweaked a little bit. I didn't like how it kind of just looked like a snake, so I wanted to create a little bit of movement so that it just didn't look like a giant snake. But in doing that, some of my colors muddied a lot more than I would have liked because I kept messing with them. Some of the places just had entirely too much color in one place, and so some things worked well. Sorry about my big head, I'm just blowing some things out. But other things just really should have been left alone. So I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna figure that out. I even tried to use my Puffy 2000 but I was afraid to blow too hard on some places. And so I ended up just maneuvering it around. So that's one of the reasons I sped this up, because it was like 30 minutes of pure boredom for all of you trying to watch me fix it. So there's obviously a lot of color under this white, and so I'm trying to get some of it out. And it's going pretty well up until the point where I keep messing with it. So there's also a lot of color still in the middle, so you see me trying to blow some of that down a little bit to open it up. There's also some places where you can tell where I kind of started with the blow dryer. So I just kind of want to expand around that a little bit. But overall, even though I think the composition in this piece is not perfect, I still really like it. And considering my need to practice the Dutch pours is there, and I'm aware that it's there, I'm pretty happy with the results. Here's where I'm breaking out the Puffy 2000 and showing you guys the different end pieces that you have. This one I'm trying to use is a more narrow one, and I felt like I was blowing too hard, so I probably should have used the wider edge. If you've seen one of the recent videos where I used Puffy to do a bloom, there's a wide edge and kind of a narrow edge that's more like the end of a straw or a turkey baster. So the Puffy 2000 is available on the Pour Scrape Repeat website, and Mark Gilday was kind enough to send me one to try out. So you will be seeing more of Puffy, but I was having a hard time reaching where I needed to, so I used it a little bit, but I was blowing a little too hard, so I had to maneuver the canvas so I could get to that spot. So yeah. So I'm excited to see what Angie and Muna create. And we have a bigger collaboration with the three of us, as well as Aretha and Jody at the end of the month. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I really like doing collaborations because I think they challenge you to maybe do something that you wouldn't normally do. Because I think sometimes when you're recording, you know there's certain things you want to try, but you'll always kind of fall back on what's more comfortable. So I actually have things in my mind that I want to do all the time, and then sometimes I either just don't have the energy to do something that may require me scraping or redoing something 3 or 4 times. So I just kind of have to be patient with the process, you know. So, but there's a lot of things I plan to do in the future. I want to do a deconstructed bloom, which Karen from Waterfall Acrylics is really the one who does an incredible job of those. If you haven't seen her do one, they're really beautiful, and they're very abstract, and they have this really beautiful just composition to them. Arissa Rue has done some amazing ones as well, and so I've been paying attention to them and kind of wrapping my mind around how I would like to do one, and so I definitely want to do one in the near future. So I just, you know, I think about things that I'd like to try or maybe sharpen my skills on. You know, regular acrylic pouring is how I started, and so I've done ring pours and flip cups and all that stuff in the past, but you know, the bloom takes a lot of practice, and so sometimes I devote a lot of time to really trying to grow in that. So expect to see a little bit more practicing in the future. As I'm continuing to mess with this, I'm over here watching myself as I'm trying to tell you guys what's going on, and I'm like, no, leave it alone. You know, because when you take a step back from a piece that you're working on and you just separate yourself from it for a second, you can see its beauty for what it is, instead of all of the tiny imperfections that are not what you'd like them to be. And then you realize that you're probably destroying what is beautiful about it by overworking it. That soft petal on the canvas on the left in the white part is probably my favorite part. That's what all of it should look like. Those soft, beautiful flowing edges. But there's entirely too much paint that I put on, and that really prevents us from having those beautiful flowing edges. But that's all part of the learning. You know, I have to learn that. I have to get comfortable with that again. I've done beautiful Dutch pours before, but it's been a really long time since I've done them consistently. So that's what I love about these collaborations, is it's really going to challenge me to work on something a little bit more consistently. I really love how reactive the golden paint is. It creates those beautiful little cells. I think that added a lot of fun interest there. So yeah, this was a fun one for me. It was challenging. I found myself being kind of nervous before I blew it out, and I'm glad I didn't scrape it, but it's definitely not exactly what I was hoping for, but I do like it. I love the way that red violet responded in the Dutch pour. You can't see some of the detail, and I'll try to show you in the close-up shortly, but it responded very well from, it holds its color, for one. It's a beautifully pigmented paint, and it interacts beautifully with like the purple and the cinnamon brown and all the different violet shades in here. But it, from a consistency perspective, I use the fluid one, not the flow, but the fluid, and I just put it right in, and because it's a fluid, it was the perfect consistency for a Dutch pour when I put it in the Floetrol in the water. And so it does great from a creating cells perspective. It holds its color really well. It blends with the other colors. I just love the way it looks in this piece. So I'm sorry. Sorry, my dog's been barking at some roofers in the house next door all day long. She's convinced that someone is out to get us and that we are all painfully unaware. So, I mean, I guess she's doing her job, right? But anyway, I really love the way that paint responded. So I am glad to know that it'll be a good paint to use in the Dutch pours in the future. I have 3 of the Matisse colors in the flow and the fluid, and that's one of them, of course, because it's my favorite. And then I have Southern Ocean Blue, and I have Australian Salmon Gum. So I'll be excited to incorporate those in the future in Dutch pours, because I think they responded just beautifully in that particular consistency. So anyway, keep in mind, using primary elements in a Dutch pour is a game changer. So thank you to Erica Hughes, who helped really kind of champion this for us. When I mixed those colors, I didn't do it on camera for the sake of time today, but I mixed the golden regular gel gloss first in water until I got the consistency I wanted. And then I incorporated the primary elements. I allowed it to sit a little bit to let some of the bubbles settle. But when you do mix your gel gloss and water, incorporate a little bit of water at a time, and it will go much more smoothly for you. I really, really love that. It works great. I haven't tried soft gel. I can tell you the regular gel works great. And I believe Saskia has tried the Liquitex regular gel too. So it's just a wonderful way to incorporate primary elements in a Dutch pour, because they are so magical, especially if you decide to resin it. So a close-up is coming up. Don't forget, you can use my code, which is Mandy1120, all lowercase, for anything on the Colourarte website to save 20%. The coupon code is in the description box below, along with other coupon codes. And Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. Please don't forget to watch Angie and Muna's video. The links will also be below. And if you're not already subscribed to their channel, I would encourage you to do so. They're wonderful artists and just wonderful friends, and just great to learn from. And I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you to all the moms out there. And thank you so much for your support. And I'm going to turn off this light and bring you in for a close-up and let you see how much I messed with this up close. Here we go. Okay, so this is the one that I like the white in a lot more. So this is the top left-hand corner. The colors are magical. Look at that. You can see why I want to use them all the time and everything. Look at that red violet. I mean, composition needs some work. I love the wispy petal right here. The composition needs some work, but those colors are amazing. And I love the cells that formed over the golden paint. It was very cell reactive. The Artist Loft does react, but it's a chalkier paint. Once I run out of the Artist Loft white, I'm going to start using Blicrylic white. I also have a link to Blick in the description box below. I buy almost all of my regular art supplies from Blick, and I'm an affiliate there. So if you use my link, it helps my channel. Doesn't cost you any more. Great prices, selection. I get the gel gloss from there. So yeah, really good stuff. And please check out the links below for Muna and Angie's video. I'm going to put them below. Please check them out. If you don't subscribe to them, I would encourage you to do that. Wonderful ladies, wonderful artists, just great big hearts. And so thank you for joining us today. Again, happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. Let me know what you think. Thank you for being patient as I get used to doing Dutch pours again. Anyway, thank you guys so much again for watching. Have a great day. I thought I would show you guys the dry result. I have them under these picnic nuts. It's pretty dry. I'm not going to pick it up, but you can see how there was too much paint because you can see how there was a river in the middle, but you can see the Indian spice. You can see that the primary elements didn't move at all, which is what we wanted. But yeah, it dried pretty much just as we left it. I fiddled with it a little bit after I turned the camera off, but that's no surprise. Here's the other one. This one, this was the part that was driving me crazy. It seemed like no matter what I did, it looked like it was like scary hair or something. Like, I don't mind it until I look at it up close. Like, if I look at it like this, it doesn't bother me, but oh well. Too much paint, too much fiddling. But I love these little cells. Yeah, our primary elements didn't move, so now that we've got the recipe that works, we'll keep working on the composition. See you guys next time.